I think there's a lesson there on what level of, even if you're an experienced entrepreneur, market decides.
Right.
Pretty much market is a decision maker. You have to listen to the market. You have to observe what market wants to buy and sell that to them, not what you want to sell or maybe even what you're passionate.
Wherever you guys are watching this show, I would truly appreciate it if you follow or subscribe. It helps a lot with the algorithm. It helps us get bigger and better guests, and it helps us grow the team. Truly means a lot. Thank you guys for supporting, and here's the episode. All right, guys, we got all the way from Miami, Alex Fedotoff here today, talking about e-commerce.
Nice to see you, Sean.
Absolutely. $100 million in sales, man.
Yeah, over the years, some years better than others, but yeah.
Nice. How long did that take?
So I started e-commerce in 2016, 17.
Okay. So about 8 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Back in Europe when I lived there.
Damn. Okay. Yeah. So you grew up in Ukraine, right?
Correct.
And then you moved to.
I lived in Ukraine. Then the war happened the first time, 2014. We moved to Poland. We lived around Europe, and 2020 we moved to United States.
Wow. So what was that like in Ukraine? Was that a very scary time?
Yeah. When war, they just draft everyone like even it is right now. They just get everyone to the army.
What's the age minimum there for the draft?
25, but now they're lowering because they're out of people.
Yeah, 25 is actually older than I thought. Yeah. I think here it's like lower.
Yeah.
Wow, 25. Yeah, but now you're out, man. It's probably better that you're out because it's scary over there right now, living there.
Yeah. It's like, I think we're, as humans, we're free to choose where we want to live, even like inside of the country, people don't like California, they can move to like Miami, or, so it's like, I think choosing where to live and not being attached to a place, I think it's important.
Yeah. Why'd you choose Miami?
We were considering Austin, we were considering Los Angeles, San Diego, and Miami. I don't know. We wanted to be close to Europe. We like to travel.
Yeah.
So Miami is in a good spot. Like you can go to Europe like in, 6-9 hours, like you're in Europe. Then South America. So it's nicely located geographically. But it also was a good call because, Miami and Florida was one of the few states that were like open.
During the pandemic.
Yeah. So it was very good call.
Nice.
We landed in Miami like literally like 6 hours before they closed the border with Europe.
Damn. So you would have been stuck?
Yeah, for months.
That's scary. Why do you want to be close to Europe? You got family there and stuff?
Yeah, we like to spend time in Switzerland.
Nice.
Yeah.
Those Swiss banks, man. That's where your money's at.
Yeah. Sometimes they're failing. Like they had this Credit Suisse.
Yeah. I heard about that.
Big scandal.
Damn. I wanted to talk about dropshipping because a lot of people try to do dropshipping, right? There's a lot of courses, there's a lot of people teaching it.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people get to 7 figures, let alone 9 figures. So how did you get that experience in dropshipping? Did you have a mentor or something?
Yeah, it's fascinating. I ask myself the same question every time, like why, like with all of the abundance of resources, there's only a small percentage of people that succeed. Mm-hmm. And so like spy tools, you have, you can literally see anyone's ads, you can see what products people are selling. So it's relatively easy to replicate. Mm-hmm. For me personally, I've learned through experience with, I started as a service. I started as a freelancer back in Ukraine. I started freelancer working with businesses. So I gained some experience and I had like kind of behind the scenes knowledge of what was working and how the whole business model worked.
Yeah.
Which I think is a great kind of like path for a lot of people. Let's say you want to get inside of, specific industry. One of the easiest ways just to go work in that industry, work for a company that you admire, gain some experience, see how that company operates, and then in a few years, like you can start your own gig.
Right.
And so that was my path. I discovered dropshipping because one of the clients was doing dropshipping, and I was running, their ads, and I would see how to run the ads, I see where to source the product. So I just connected the dots and started running my own stores, and that's pretty much how I started.
That's cool. The thing with dropshipping is you need to be able to adapt very quickly, right? Which is a skill that is hard to teach. And now there's a new wave of TikTok shop, right?
Yeah.
And before you could just drop ship from China. Now there's like 3PLs and stuff. The game changes all the time. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, 100%. And it's even like what kind of products they're selling, how to sell them, the types of the creatives and type of the visuals that you have to use in order to sell the product. And especially in markets like United States, it's more competitive market, so you have to adapt like very fast. Mm-hmm. But the opportunity is.
Shout out to the Hustle Daily Show, guys. Part of the HubSpot network, which is the audio destination for business builders. The Hustle Daily Show is your daily dose of business, tech, and news, and they got original stories, which keeps you in the loop on what's trending in the business world. It's very important to stay up to date on what's trending, guys. Right now, obviously, crypto's hot. There's tons of opportunities there. They have over 3 million young readers on their daily email, and it keeps you in the loop on what's going on, like I said earlier. And they now have a daily podcast called The Hustle Daily Show, where their team of writers break down the biggest business headlines in 10 minutes or less. In today's modern age of no one having an attention span, that makes it easy for everyone. They do deep dives on topics like how a man won the lottery 14 times and why it's nearly impossible to buy a modern day Bob Ross painting. I checked out a few episodes. They recently did one on 3D printing houses, which I thought was super interesting. Search for the Hustle Daily Show in your favorite podcast app, guys, like the one you're using right now. Now here's the show.
Opportunity is there. I mean, like, we've had our best, with all the recession, whatever, the downtrends and stuff like that. We've had our best year last year.
Damn.
And it just trending up, so.
It's all about finding that winning niche, right? People, that's the $1 million question. People ask you all the time, finding winning products, winning niche, but you really just got to do it from experience, right?
Yeah, and also like observing what's working. Like, I don't like to reinvent the wheel. In many cases, and I've made this mistake so many times, even like recently, we decided to launch a product. And, I'm a smart guy. I was like, I've been in this industry for so many years. We launch a product. It's like, yeah, it's like, okay, we get samples from China, beauty gadgets. I like beauty. I like health and I like beauty because these are like evergreen niches. People always have pain. People always want to look better. So evergreen niches, evergreen demand. And so I'm like, okay, we get sources, we get samples from China, we get like 20 different samples. We tried this device, this device, this device, and we know how to sell devices. We sold like, $100 million like worth of devices. And we know how to sell them. And out of all of the devices, I choose the most expensive. So the device costs like $50. So we have to sell it for like $200, $250 in order for the margin
to make sense.
Yeah, exactly, right? So the profit margin so we can spend on ads and still be profitable. And so I choose the most expensive, and we order inventory. We order like 1,000 units, which is like $50,000.
Damn.
Yeah, $50 per unit, 1,000 units, which I don't recommend anyone to do, it was a bad decision. And then we try to grow it, try to, run ads, and we are good with ads. Like, we're good with creative. We spend money on creators, and it doesn't work. And it just like, inventory sitting there, we caught it, we move on, we don't want to waste time. But I think there's a lesson there that no matter on what level of, even if you're an experienced entrepreneur, like, market decides.
Right.
Pretty much market is a decision maker. You have to listen to the market, you have to observe what market wants to buy, and sell that to them, not what you want to sell or maybe even what you're passionate about.
Yeah, you have to be super objective. You can't get your emotions involved. I've struggled with that issue too when I did e-commerce. I would get so attached to certain products and think everyone likes them, but it's really me liking it. Not everyone else likes it.
Yeah, exactly. And we're selling products to women, usually over 45 years old. And I'm not a lady, I'm not 45 years old. So yeah, I just eliminate my kind of objective opinion.
That makes sense. Now, Facebook ads have gotten more and more expensive over the years. It's weeded out a lot of people, right? But you're still running them with success. So how do you think you were able to adapt when it comes to running paid ads?
I think, with Facebook, I'm competitive. I think that helps. Being competitive and observing what your competition is doing and just, seeing, what they do. So now you have to level up. But also important factor, I think, is like just reinvestment. A reinvestment, like let's say you start e-commerce business, let's say you get some initial momentum. Most people would be just like taking money out or buying a car, buying some stuff for themselves. What we do is like we reinvest. Let's say the product, the project makes money. We reinvest that profit into stock, into stock obviously, but also into custom content. So we send the product to content creators. They shoot content, they send us back. So now we have a lot of variables. Facebook ads is a game of variables, right? So the more variables you have, the more variations of the creative, of the visuals you have, the higher your chances for success. In many cases, people try one ad, few variations, maybe max, and it doesn't work, and they think Facebook ads don't work. It's not it doesn't work. It's maybe you just didn't give it enough inputs.
Didn't test enough.
Correct.
Yeah, people give up very easily, right? They launch one ad campaign, it doesn't work, and then they say Facebook ads is dead.
Yeah.
But there's still people, making millions off Facebook ads.
Facebook is amazing. I mean, some of my friends, spending like $8-10 million per month on ads.
Yeah.
And so
per month?
Correct.
On dropshipping, or is it?
Oh, it's a brand. It's supplements.
Okay.
Mostly supplements or something with like higher LTV. I mean, Facebook ads cannot fix your margin structure. Facebook ads cannot fix your business. Cannot fix your product, right? So obviously those things have to be foundationally right before you get into ads. But if you have enough margin to acquire a customer, if your product has some stickiness, maybe if it's supplement or something that people have to rebuy, so now you kind of like building more sustainable business because it's not just one-time purchases you have to acquire every time and pay for ads for, but also people coming back and your profitability increases.
Have you tried digital products, or do you stick with mainly physical?
So we have actually our whole kind of area of our company is like educational. So we do e-commerce, and then we teach people how to do e-commerce. Company is called eCommerce Scaling Secrets, and it started like pretty much as my hobby. Like I posted on the Facebook groups about my results. People started reaching out, and it was like on the back burner. And it wasn't like I didn't even take it seriously until we like moved to the United States. It was like a side project, and now we have a team. We have pretty much account managers, and so part of that company is the digital products. So we're selling digital products on the front end, and then if people want to get some extra help, we're helping them.
Nice, yeah, because the margins on the digital side, I heard, are obviously way higher.
100%. Yeah, I think anyone, like if you think about it, what was there's a jiu-jitsu guy.
Like
Gordon.
I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Gordon something.
He ran ads.
I think he makes most of his money from digital products.
Really?
He teaches people how to do jiu-jitsu.
Wow.
Yeah, Gordon. I forgot. Ryan, something like that. Jiu-jitsu. He's one of the, I think, champions. One of the top
I know
guys.
who you're talking about. I've seen him on videos and stuff. Yeah, he was the world champion. And there's a lot of guys that are so talented, and they just need the right business partner to be able to package that into a course or an offer, and they can make millions a year.
Yeah. Even what Alex Hormozi did, right, with his, business model, and I mean, they specifically choose, for big part of their business, like in information products, coaching, stuff like that. I think it's a great business, and especially if there's already foundation, if there is like an expert that with their advice can help, many people on a scale. So.
Absolutely. I love how raw and authentic you are on your Twitter. So I pulled actually 5 tweets. I'd love for you to elaborate on some of these. You tweeted out that being smart is oftentimes a liability. What did you mean by that?
I think smart people overthink stuff. Sometimes, like for example, I just shared that example was a product that we chosen to sell. I just was overthinking it instead of just like, hey, here's what's selling. Our product, can be like 5% better. Let's fix, this 1, 2, 3 things about the product. Let's sell it successfully. I wanted to like reinvent the wheel. So overthinking. I think it's that's why also many people that are even graduating, like I would think like why people graduate Harvard, Wharton, like hundreds of thousands of dollars, and oftentimes they just cannot make it work in business,
right?
Because they overthink.
Yeah, they've done studies on this. So if your IQ is in the genius range, you make less money than people in the gifted range.
Wow, that's fascinating.
So usually it's like this until it gets to genius range, and then there's a dip.
Wow.
Because all those guys are so smart that they don't have personal skills. They don't have emotional intelligence, so they become scientists. They become individualized specialists.
Wow.
Crazy, right?
Elon is probably an outlier.
Yeah,
he's very smart.
He's an outlier.
Outlier.
I think his IQ is like 160. I mean, he's super smart. But he's not the normal genius. Most geniuses can't do business, actually. Wow. Pretty interesting, right?
This is interesting.
Yeah. Have you tested your IQ?
No, I probably am. I hope I'm not below 100.
I think you would know. I think you would definitely know. You also tweeted out, most books can be summarized in 3 sentences and they're not worth your time.
Yeah. I think a lot of books are written by people that that's their business to write books. And obviously they take like one very simple idea and they just try to kind of like cover the whole like 100 pages of fluff. And so I mean, and sometimes you need stories to understand something. That's cool. But if you want to like get to the point faster, you can just like buy a summary of the book.
That's what I do. I have that app Blinkist. Have you heard of that? Yeah.
Is it good?
It's okay. It summarizes the whole book, and then I listen to audiobooks on 2x, 2.5x.
Nice.
And then mainly though podcasts. I learn a lot on podcasts.
I love podcasts. I listen to your podcast.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I listen.
There's some. I mean, I've learned so much this year podcasting. Past year, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm a fan of those. But I kind of agree with reading books. I feel like it's a little outdated. Alex Becker has a similar opinion as you on books. So that makes sense to me. You also tweeted out, Lamborghinis and watches don't impress the right people. They impress people lower than you.
Yeah, for the most part. That's obviously my opinions. And, there's some people that would disagree. But I think it's, you see this kind of generation, younger generation, and it's normal if you're like 18, 20 years old, they're trying to impress people with like Lamborghinis. But I think at some point it's, let's say if you have like Lamborghini, I know there's like Huracan, there's like Aventador, there's so many layers of Lamborghinis. And so if you're buying like a cheap one, it's like, it's not even good. Like,
right.
It's like if you want to buy a good one, like buy a good one, buy more expensive. Yeah. So, I think like lifestyle is important. Lifestyle helps to, I don't know, maybe that's my value system. And I have a watch, right? So
right.
it's how it's called?
Rolex.
Yeah, it's but it's how it said, not ignorant, but arrogant. No, when I say something and I do something.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Oh, what's the word? I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Hypocrite, right?
Yeah.
So I'm a hypocrite, right? Because I'm talking about watches that they impress wrong people, and I have a watch, right? So it's like, is this guy's worth listening to?
Yeah. I could see both ways. I mean, you live in Miami, so obviously it's all about materialistic flexing out there.
Yeah.
Having a nice car is normal out there. But in the right room, I feel like a car and a watch can be used in a good way.
100%. Yeah, and I had a lot of rethinking on that topic too, since I, my value, not the value system, but kind of like my perception changes on certain things. Because even though I've been making, I was blessed to make, very, very good amount of money, but I didn't buy like cars. I have like one car.
Yeah.
I have like one watch. That's my one watch.
So what do you spend your money on then?
Just investing.
Love that. But you gotta have some fun too.
Exactly, right? And so I'm like, why I'm like,
are you interested in coming on the Digital Social Hour podcast as a guest? Well, click the application link below in the description of this video. We are always looking for cool stories, cool entrepreneurs to talk to about business and life. Click the application link below, and here's the episode, guys.
Why I'm like kind of, when I'll be driving cars. I'll be driving cars when I'm 50, like 60 when I'm like, dad.
Older,
like, so it's like, I think there's definitely a point. You don't want to overdo it,
right?
And kind of there is a sweet spot. And also, let's say we had like a record year. I didn't reward myself with anything, and I think that's bad. You have to reward. You have to celebrate wins. Because I come from like Eastern European, and I still have, we are very like rigid. We're like very like. It's usually poker face. It's usually like this. We don't show emotions. If you show like, I don't know if you watched the Putin interviews. Like,
oh yeah, I just saw it last night with Tucker. Yeah,
like,
no emotion.
Yeah, right. And so it's because in our culture, it's not,
it's a sign of weakness.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. Exactly. And so, so that is a part. And also for me, it's like if I go and spend money on some cars and stuff like that, it's a sign of, maybe I'm getting weak, and this kind of culture consumes me.
Right.
So I think there was something more like on my side.
Immigrant mentality.
Yeah.
So I struggled with that too. So my parents are both immigrants, and my first 5 years of working, I didn't reward myself. which is crazy. I didn't go on vacation. I didn't buy myself anything nice. And, it took a toll on me because you get to the point where you're like, why am I working for this money?
Yeah.
If I'm just saving it, reinvesting in the business, I'm not even having fun. I mean, business is fun, but outside of that, what am I spending it on? So now I vacation at least twice a year just to reward myself.
Nice.
And it actually motivates you when you're on vacation to do better when you get back too, I noticed.
Yeah. I do. Yeah, vacations. I didn't. Yeah, we do 8 to 10 vacations a year.
Damn. Okay, I got to step it up.
Yeah. So that part we didn't. We'd go to Switzerland for a few months, and then we go to Aspen, and then we go.
Months. Okay, so you're going on long vacations.
Yeah, this summer we go to Switzerland for the whole
But you're
summer.
working while you're there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm working. Now our team gotten much better. I mean, it's obviously when you're starting, it's a lot harder. It's like you're always on your laptop.
Yeah.
Now our team is very good. So I think I'll try to. I think learning to relax. It's like, I don't think there's like, right or wrong, but it's somewhere in the middle.
It's tough to
Right?
relax for me, dude. Because my comfort zone is working. So when you say relax, I'm thinking of just sitting still and not working, and it's uncomfortable for me. I like to work. I like to feel like I'm really putting time into the right things.
You told me your team told me like you do 50 of these a month.
50 a month, and I have other businesses.
Wow.
And I'm working a lot, but I also can't sit still, dude. Like, can you sit still for an hour just watching TV without thinking about work?
Oh no, I'm
Same.
Huh.
It's
Yeah.
tough. Like, people say relax. I'm like, my relaxed is me working. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I relax.
Yeah.
Because my work isn't stressful. I've gotten to that point where it took 5-6 years, but I outsourced all my stresses.
Oh, you outsourced all of your stresses.
Yes.
That's a good way to put
Which
it.
I recommend everyone, because at first you're going to have to do everything.
Yeah.
And it sucks. You got to do customer service, but you have to learn the basics. And then once you know that, outsource it.
You must be enjoying these interviews.
Dude, I love it. This isn't even work for me. I mean, it's so fun.
Yeah.
I get to learn from 8, 9-figure, 10-figure guys in multiple industries.
Nice. Yeah. You found your genius zone.
Yeah.
I think that's, with businesses, like different business models, like different ways of, you can make money. I think it's so important because I remember watching these interviews from people. Oh, you have to find your passion. You have to find your passion. You have to find, and I'm like, yeah, of course you're billionaires. Like, of course you're talking that. Like, but now I'm getting it. Like, yeah, you have to like what you do on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like, what's the point?
There's no fulfillment otherwise.
Yeah, if you just do something for the money, right? And like that doesn't fulfill you.
Doesn't. And you learn that after a few years. And I'm at the point now where I don't do stuff just for money. If there's no greater purpose behind it, I probably don't need to do it.
Yeah.
Because people offer me money all the time to post stuff, and
Yeah.
when you have a following, that's common. And if it doesn't align with me, I won't post.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gone down the spiritual journey, man. It's been interesting, to say the least. A lot of interesting podcast guests have shifted my perspectives.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's a skill I think a lot of people are closed-minded, especially where you're from, right?
Yeah.
I've heard that about Europe, actually. And you got to be willing to change with new information.
I'm coming. Since we came here, like, our leadership style has changed. We're like, initially, our leadership style in the company is like, you do something wrong, you're fired. Like, it's like, it's very, kind of
Black and white.
Yeah, exactly. And then we kind of adapted. Okay, so maybe it's not working. Maybe people are not as productive if you just like, very strict, very direct, very, And so I think there's some good parts, like, like Sergey Brin, these guys, like many of them have had, or Elon Musk, immigrant, right? So it's like you're taking part of like another culture or taking another like perspective on the world, right? Like, I think there's a lot to learn in China or like in Asia, right? From that, from that mentality, like how hard they work, like, so, and then you adapt it with like more like freedom, like they have in Western world. I think that, I think you can learn from anyone, and like, and that's, you're mixing those cultures, you're mixing those perspectives, and
yeah, I love that, dude. That's such a good analogy. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, when you take the best of each culture, bring them to America, combine it with our values, that's why our country's pretty successful, I'd say, right?
Immigrants built it.
Yeah.
Immigrants, like first generation grinding, like, America had, I mean, maybe I'm oversimplifying it, but the best periods of growth where like it's big spike of immigrants, right? New talent, like people working hard, like even this gentleman here, like Marvin.
Yeah.
Oh man, his story is so fascinating.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah, wow. And so coming here, now his family is in entertainment business,
Right.
in high positions, pushing, building businesses. So I think there's a lot to learn. I think if, my perspective, like in the United States, a lot of people kind of maybe a few generations in, they kind of like getting like more relaxed, right?
Yeah.
They don't have that grind anymore.
Yeah, I agree. You see it with each generation. I think because of technology as well, people are becoming more relaxed. So I know exactly what you mean. My parents worked a lot harder than a lot of kids when they were their age, if that makes sense. They were scrubbing floors. They were doing a lot of dirty work. But now with AI and tech, it's easy. You can make money on your couch, you know what I mean? Making content.
Yeah.
So it's a different style for sure.
Yeah.
It's a different style. But you had humble beginnings, man. I know in Ukraine you were making $100 a month.
Yeah.
You couldn't even afford your wedding, right?
We had no, not these. We had a lot simpler rings. With my wife, we couldn't afford wedding. We just went to the city hall, and we had one person. We had one guest.
That's it?
Yeah, we didn't even have our parents.
Damn.
Yeah,
You didn't invite them, or?
No, it just like, I mean, I don't know. No, it wasn't like official. We just wanted to, kind of
Get it
make
done quick.
Yeah, make it official, and then we just, that's it.
Wow.
That was it. We couldn't. Yeah, we didn't have money to do it.
And was that like a big moment in your life, realizing like, wow, I can't even afford the life I want right now?
Yeah, it was kind of like, I think, and maybe it's the same for a lot of people. It's like kind of inside of you. It's kind of like frustrates you, and you're frustrated. And then something happens, and you kind of like let, if you just spend that energy on getting out of that. I don't know what's the best way to explain it. For me, the biggest probably shifts happened where, so we moved from Ukraine to Poland, and I just realized, we needed money. We needed money because I had a friend back in Ukraine that was doing some schemes, and like he said, let's do it together. We can make money. And I'm like, okay, cool. I was very open-minded. And
that's how it starts.
Yeah. and then I start calling people, and I'm like, I need to borrow money. And then like, no one borrowed me money.
Yeah.
And I just realized
They didn't
there is
trust
no
you.
one to rely on but yourself.
Right.
And it's kind of like, it's relief, right? Because you expect something happens, there's friends, there's family. At that moment, just realized, no, there is no one. And kind of like back against the wall. It's hard realizations. And those first like few years were hard. Like many mental like shifts, like limiting beliefs, low self-confidence, no self-esteem, like all of those things, like they're hard to overcome.
Yeah, I struggled with all of that my first few years because it's not a normal path. So very few people can relate to the path you're starting in entrepreneurship. So they're usually hating on it because they're like making fun of you and stuff.
Yeah, and then you go through educational system, and it's like 10, 15 years of like, they kind of try to put you in a box, right? And try to make you think in a particular way.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's hard to overcome that. And if the same message repeats at home, right?
On the news. Yeah, it took me, man, I was brainwashed for 20, 21 years probably before I started going on YouTube, watching some actual content and like understanding there's more to the world than just a 9 to 5.
How old are you?
I'm 26 now.
Okay, I started when I was 26.
Oh yeah? Well, in Europe, it's probably even harder, honestly.
Yeah, and Eastern Europe, people are close-minded. Like, so we started the business. The business started to do well, and then we do e-commerce, right? And we do drop shipping. So there's no physical goods. Like we don't have inventory, at that point. And we're processing millions of dollars, like millions of dollars. And then, we come to the tax, we pay taxes. We want to pay taxes. We want to do everything by the book. It's like, what is that business you're in? It's like, what is it? What do you do? E-commerce? Like,
they didn't even know about it.
no, it's like, and these ladies are older, they don't understand, the internet.
Yeah.
And so, and we had one of the things we had to do. They're like, okay, so you had like, I don't know, 100,000 orders, whatever. Okay, so we need like an invoice for every one of those orders.
Oh my gosh.
Manually printed. And, okay, because it has to be officially like, and so yeah, it was pretty much, we had to hire like a team of people to basically
so you had to print out that many. That is such an old system. Hopefully they fixed that by now. What that was in Ukraine, or was that in Poland?
That's in Poland.
Poland.
Wow. I think Poland is adapting, but it's still like, and what happens is like, smart people like entrepreneurs, when they understand they have the freedom to move, they're out. Mm-hmm. They're either in Dubai, they're either in Miami. Like, if state or country treats you badly, you're out.
Yeah. These days you can just move wherever. I've been offered to move to Dubai. I've been offered to go to Puerto Rico. That's the cool part about having money, right?
Yeah.
You can kind of pick where you want to live in the world.
Yeah.
But it's hard to beat the U.S. because everything's here, man.
Yeah.
Like it'd be hard to do a podcast in any other country, I think.
Yeah. United States is such a good country for business. It's the whole infrastructure, the financial system, the credit lines when you want to expand.
Yeah. The credit's amazing.
Yeah.
I just got $200,000, 0% credit cards.
Really?
Yeah. Have you done those yet?
No.
Yeah, I'll introduce you to my friend. So it's credit cards, but 0% interest for 12 months.
Legit?
Yeah, legit. Yeah, I got Chase Bank, Bank of America, U.S. Bank. There's a few, but my friend just does them all for you. He applies.
Wow.
Yeah.
How that works? How they make money?
They make money after the 12 months if you, I guess, have late fees and stuff. That's how all the cards make money. The late fees, the overdraft, and all that. Yeah.
But if you settle it, there's no fees.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, I spent like $100K on it, and I have 10 months to pay it off at no interest.
Wow.
Yeah.
You
can't get that in other countries.
Talk about the opportunity, right? So, coming back to e-commerce or any other opportunities, like you have those resources at your disposal. You have all of the tools. You have like, the spy. You can see what products are selling, how to sell it.
Ad Spy. I used to use that. Unicorn Smasher on Amazon. You ever hear of that one?
No.
Tells you all their Amazon sales.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's so many good tools, man. Like you said, it's easy to replicate, but very few people succeed. That's why this space fascinates me, because so many people fail.
Yeah. I think because people jump from one opportunity to another. It's like this. I've noticed, so we've been training entrepreneurs, and with our own business, like some of our best clients, they're doing now like one of our best clients did $50 million last year in sales. Another one is doing about $9 million a month in sales. And then I'm looking at those people, like I'm trying to kind of like see the trends, and also myself, we've had good success as well.
Yeah.
And it's usually just focus. Like, it's hard. Maybe first year you will not get what you want.
Yeah.
Right. But it's, if you have like unrealistic expectations, like, I'll start a business, like, and tomorrow I'll be like a millionaire, then you won't persevere. Like if something happens, and it's inevitable that something will happen.
Always.
And
yeah, there's always unexpected stuff in business, and that's what people don't talk about. There's lawsuits, there's fines, there's payment processing shutdown. There's always an issue. Yeah,
last week we had our ad account shut down. We had our page shut down. Last month we had our Instagram page shut down. Now we have like network. We're able to kind of,
But that's common. That's so common. People's ad accounts. My business manager is still down. It's been like 4 years.
Let's talk about that. if you need help.
I love that. Alex, it's been fun, man. Where can people find you and anything you want to promote?
So my Instagram is Alex Fedotoff.
We'll link it below.
Yeah, perfect. And it's because it's hard to pronounce. And then, we help entrepreneurs to go from zero to hero. Like pretty much we have, 7-figure like entrepreneurs, coaching entrepreneurs within our like ecosystem. We have training, we have tools, we have resources. So everything that you need to do from zero to 30, 50K a month initially. And then our another program, which is I'm very passionate about, it's called eCommerce Scaling Secrets, helps people that do already 50, 100K a month to go to like 300, 500, 1 million a month. More advanced entrepreneurs. I'm learning a lot from those guys. It's
Nice.
like that's my passion.
It's awesome, man. Love it. Yeah, we'll link all that down below. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Sean.
Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. As always, see you tomorrow.